Jess, you're holding my hand too tight.
Sam, I'm not holding your hand.
Who's doing this?
Hello, Gore reading.
All right, man. So tonight is, SPC right here. First time hosting Region Free. Yeah. So we're introducing Dan. What is going on, man?
Going. It's good to see everybody. It's been a minute. It's been cold.
Yeah. Lorne, how you doing tonight, man?
Covered in cat hair and cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Those things are usually mutually exclusive, but when it gets this cold, you can be covered in cat hair and be cold.
Right. And Stone, what's going on, man?
Awesome.
Sam?
Well,
We're finally back.
Cat hair, but I'm not cold. It's not quite humid. We're kind of getting like an early spring, so it'll be nice for maybe 5 days, and then it'll be humid.
Yeah, I mean, winter's gone in the South. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
What's going on, Darren? It's been raining its ass off over there in Wales, right?
It's been raining, but it's took a turn now. So we're on like some kind of ice warning till tomorrow morning. So it's a bit of snow, I think, as well.
There's ice warnings in America too, but that's a completely different subject that we're not getting into.
Ooh, no, we're not.
Oh yes, I have seen the news.
Yeah. Well, tonight, man, it's Friday the 13th, and tonight we're covering the entire Friday the 13th franchise.
Have to go by.
I knew it.
We're pulling the mask back and going into the maggot face. Very deep.
We're going to do a deep dive on that Angry Orchard commercial.
Right.
Oh god.
That's all the next 2 hours are going to be.
It doesn't exist on YouTube anymore. Last I checked, they pulled
Really?
it. Yeah, I don't think as many people watched as they were hoping.
Right. But no, man. No, all bullshitting aside. I mean, there's plenty of people doing that shit on YouTube. So,
oh yeah.
We're not going to be one of them, I don't believe. So,
but that mask is the best because it has a scratch on it.
Which one? Do it?
That was the whole point. Is it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we might have a new horror icon coming soon. Dolly, have you guys been seeing the trailers for that?
No. I haven't.
Looks very throwback and potentially something that I could see the horror community embracing. If you haven't seen the trailer, I mean, it's very backwoods. It doesn't look like anything super original, but I'm all about embracing the new slasher icons at this point.
Is that the one that is being executive produced by Cher, or is that something else?
Ooh, it could be. I'm not sure about that. It's basically like a man-child that dresses as a doll and kills people and turns them into human dolls. I mean, that's that's kind of the story.
Is it kind of like tourist trap vibes in a way?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, it kind of it looks like something that's going to be a crowd pleaser. It's out next month. It's been insane. There's I'm seeing 6 movies in the theaters this week, and 5 of them are horror. So it's insane the amount of stuff that's coming out right now.
Well, I mean, I guess we could start. How you want to start? You want to start with recent watches? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. We're kind of backwards on the up top, but we're all good. You want to start, Lauren? Which way we want to go?
I've only really seen one thing in theaters in the last
Okay.
I don't know, 3-4 weeks. That was the film Border 2, which is a long belated sequel to the 1997 extremely patriotic war movie Border. It's basically, it could have been easily marketed as a remake. It's technically a sequel, but all the story, all the drama points hit at the same place. Very, very similar. It still worked, and it represents. It's kind of interesting because the two films really showcase like where cinema was at in '97 and where it's at today. It's epic. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes long, and it tears your heart out because you follow each one ends up in a different part of the Indian military going up against Pakistan during the Indian-Pakistan War. And if you know the first film, especially, you know that it's going to end badly for almost everyone. But it kind of really reminded me what cinema's about, what it's supposed to do. You remember when you were young and you'd go, especially if they showed you a movie in school, in the cafeteria, and you're probably sitting on a rug on the floor because that's how old I am, and they projected a movie, and it seemed like those movies were like, half the day long, right? But you got to watch a movie, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it was just watching Border 2, it was really impactful to see a film doing what cinema always promises to do. But now we kind of...
Oh.
My bad.
Not me.
I don't know.
like electrocuting a small animal over there.
Right.
It's alive.
But I really just... It felt like a real movie. And I guess that's what I'm saying. Today we consume film kind of like television shows, or even television commercials in some cases. And it's I think we're worse as film goers for it. That said, is it a great film? No, it's a really good film.
I like the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
If you like the first one, you'll like the second. I'd say you'll like it as much. Some of the stuff that hasn't aged as well about the 97 film works here better. But I will say that Sonny Leon, Deal's performance as an older man is probably not as strong as it was as a younger man. So there's give and take, but I think they're about equal films. But well worth seeing. It is still in theaters if you have a cinema that shows, foreign or limited release films.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, Dan, man, what you got?
So this segment, I'm gonna start kind of like rapid fire more because if you know me, you know it's not bullshit. I've watched over 100 movies since we last recorded, so I'll try and go like a little rapid fire for you guys. I'm not gonna go super in depth. One that I will throw out that you could call a horror-ish film. It's more of a drama, and it got snubbed at the Oscars, especially for Best Actor, and that is The Thing with the Feathers with Benedict Cumberbatch. This is mostly a drama about this man's grief, which takes the form of this house guest, which is a crow, and it is amazing. Naturally, very sad dealing with this loss, kids, and everything, but it's just a beautiful movie. I do highly recommend this. It's heavy, so obviously you got to be in the mood for it, but I highly recommend it. We had a lot of genre stuff nominated at the Oscars this year, and I don't quite understand. No disrespect, I know a lot of you out there loved Weapons. This probably deserved some Oscar consideration.
Well, I mean, yeah,
in my opinion,
fell apart.
Yeah. I did get to see some fun popcorn horror. Nothing especially original about these movies, but I did really enjoy Whistle, the new Corin Hardy film. The big mistake that it makes is it's very derivative, and the solution to the problem, let's just say, has been done a lot, and it's been done recently in big movies. I'm being vague because I don't want to spoil it. But having said that, the ride was a lot of fun. It stars Daphne Keane, who is the daughter in Logan, the young girl in Logan. I can't remember if she was supposed to be a kid in that. It's been a minute. Just fun. A good section of it takes place in a haunted maze. It's kind of a crowd pleaser. It's no Hellfest, but it is very, very good, and I think one that you'll have some fun. The other popcorn movie I saw, Cold Storage, just last night, also very derivative. You've seen it before, but I was shocked at how fun it was. Liam Neeson kind of playing second fiddle to Joe Keery from Stranger Things, and Georgina Campbell, who's kind of becoming the big new Scream Queen. She's got 3 new horror movies out this year, including Psycho Killer coming out in a couple weeks, which looks promising. That one, again, kick your feet up, have a good time with some buddies, and you'll enjoy it quite a bit. And let's see. Oh, I do got one that you should not see, and that is The Strangers Chapter 3.
Oh, well.
No one was gonna run that.
Oh my God.
What?
Strangers Chapter 3. Yes.
What did you call it?
Fucking piece of shit. Did I say that out loud?
Is it better than chapter 2?
Wait,
It is
people saw
equal.
chapter 2?
Well,
I didn't see none of that shit.
Yeah, I heard they all got terrible reviews.
It was, look, there was a decent amount of people in the theater for the first one. You cut that like 90%, and I was in the theater on a prime day, I think Saturday evening, and there was one other lady in the theater with me. Through it. But I had to review it. I did. I can honestly say that it's an 80-minute movie, a shitty 80-minute movie stretched into 3. Ridiculous. Rennie Harlan, maybe he never had it. Maybe he never had it at all. I don't.
Hey, Cliffhanger is a near masterpiece, I think. That's one of Stallone's best one. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is really kind of top of the charts here.
Honorable mention. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you guys just proven my point about why I don't need to watch this film.
More for us.
I almost tried to get out of reviewing it, which I normally don't do because I try and see everything genre, and it was rough. There is no explanation that makes any kind of sense. I made fun of it in depth on our show, but I thought maybe they're gonna throw something at us at the end here to tie it all together, but no, they just they shoved 3 fingers in my ass at this point.
And did they
No spit, no lube, just
heavily over explain everything?
Oh yeah, no, it's a very simplistic explanation that the town goes along with for some reason.
Yeah.
There is some stupid scenes in this. It might be the worst of the 3. It might be the worst of the 3.
Do you ever get the sense that you're just being trolled when you watch these new films?
Yeah.
Like, fuck
that is how it felt.
Dan, there's only one way this trilogy was going to redeem itself, and that's if the 3 films, right? Each one of them had a different character survive, and they end up being the characters that attack in the real original film.
They don't do anything interesting.
That would be the only cool way to do it.
There's a scene in this where it's the sister and her husband, and they bring along this like muscle dude to help them rescue the girl in the first one. And I'm not kidding. They're walking along. There's this like abandoned trailer in the woods that looks like a meth den that you're going to get murdered in. And he's like, "You guys wait in there. I'm going to go investigate this noise." And spoiler alert, bad things happen. That was not a good move. It's just all that. It's so fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. I cannot. I don't get it. It may have been a troll, but yes. So, but there's a lot of good stuff out right now. That's just a little taste of some of the things that I've watched recently.
Okay. Well, Darren, what you got, man?
Right, so I'm going to quickly mention 2. First up, is Thesis,
Mm.
1996 Spanish film,
Mm.
directed by Alexandro Amabar. So this is like this girl, Angela. She's like a film student. She's researching audiovisual violence for like, her kind of project. And she stumbles upon this snuff video. And she kind of investigates it more and finds out on the video is a girl that's actually from the same university, went missing like a year earlier. I really enjoyed this one. I've been trying to watch this for a long time, and I got lucky because this come up. It's out of print, but it come up at a really decent price. Yeah, I mean, just one of these kind of underrated films that you barely hear anyone talk about. I'd love to see a Blu-ray at some point and all that. But I would go in, don't read too much about it, just go in kind of blind and don't sleep on that one. I think it's superb. Quickly as well, Eyes of Crystal, a 2004 Giallo. Very much in the vein of like Dario Argento. Pretty good, you've got this inspector and he's like pretty much a detective investigating like a load of gruesome murders by this psychopath who's got this strange kink to where he kills these women, but he replaces body parts with dolls, which is weird from what Dan said earlier with that film Doll. And it's pretty good. It's what you expect from a 2004 Giallo, But I think if it had like maybe had like a decent soundtrack by Goblin or something, it would have hit a bit better. It's by no means a bad film. Yeah, they're the two I've seen.
Okay. Well, Sam, what you got?
I haven't seen shit.
You ain't seen shit.
We are in February. I have not been to the movies once.
Okay.
I've just been too busy. But I wanted to ask you guys if anyone got a chance to see Iron Lung.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I did see that. That was one of the 100.
How was it? Because I'm rooting for it because I do like Markiplier as a streamer. Like I started watching those Let's Plays way back in like 2012. So kind of bangers.
So the one thing that's amazing about it is that this was like a truly independent film that went direct to the theaters.
Yeah.
And that movie made like 6 or 7 times its budget.
Yeah, I heard that part.
Like that could be the future. Now, I say the little guy, Markiplier's got like 40 million subs on YouTube. He's not a little guy.
Yeah.
But that is pretty cool that an truly independent person can make that work. Love the premise. I'm a big cosmic horror guy. It's too long. So it's like a 2-hour and 7-minute movie that should have been 1 hour and a half.
But Markiplier is like the cast, though, isn't he?
Yes.
Is the one?
Well, no, he's not the only. I mean, there's another lady in it for a little bit, and there's the intercom voice. But,
okay.
Basically, it's him for 2 hours. He's not a bad actor. Like I thought he did well. I love the premise. It's just it's kind of like, I mean, it's like a novella that somebody just tried to drag into a novel sort of thing. It's he really needed to cut out about a half hour to make it work. I wish I liked it more because I was really rooting for it, and I am happy that it made so much money. But yeah, I think you might like it though.
No, I mean, I probably will. 2 hours is kind of a bit long, though. It's just, it's like, Markiplier is great when he's on stream, and I haven't watched his streams in like a very, very long time. Like, I first started watching his stuff before he had 50,000 subscribers, and now he's at a fucking ridiculous number. Yeah. But he's done like he's done so many streams and raised so much money for charity. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna go see it at some point.
We got to get to 40 million subs, and then we'll number one at the box office. It was number one for a minute.
For a second, and then Sam Raimi's Send Help came out.
Yeah, which is also fun.
Well, it was the same week it was released, so I mean, we all knew Sam Raimi was going to beat Iron Lung.
Not by a lot, though. like not by a lot. And I think Iron Lung's going to end up being more profitable. So depends how you look at it.
I mean, like, I'd be fine if if this led to more independent horror. So
yeah, absolutely. Like I said, 5 new horror movies out this week. There's
a lot of good stuff out this whole year, though, to be honest. Like, I've seen some of the stuff on the calendar, and I kind of want to see most of it.
Yeah.
Stone, what you got, man?
Yeah, 2 brand new movies to talk about. One of them was Sam Raimi's Send Help, which I love so much I saw twice in the theater, actually. Send Help was a blast, to say the least. Sam Raimi is pretty much back. This is him back in Evil Dead mode. And it's also written by Shannon and Swift, who, of course, gave us Freddy vs. Jason and the Friday the 13th reboot. Their one mistake that they made was making the Baywatch movie. I thought that was horrible. But
can they write things independently of each other? Maybe we'd have better luck.
Maybe. Maybe. Send Help was incredible, though. Rachel McAdams, she's kind of a nebbish working in this office. And she and her boss, played by Dylan O'Brien, end up on this deserted island. And of course, the tables are turned, the power shifts. It's a little bit of Lord of the Flies, a little bit of Swept Away, and a little bit of Looney Tunes. It is a total blast. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, and I spent last month watching pretty much all his movies, even the few that I've never seen before. Whatever you do, avoid Oz the Great and Powerful and For Love of the Game like the plague. Okay, anything else is
Crime Wave.
Crime Wave. I bought Crime Wave on Blu-ray just because I wanted to listen to the Bruce Campbell commentary. He made it worth it. I mean, yeah, I did not laugh once through Crime Wave, but then I listened to Bruce's commentary, and it was just awesome.
It was fun watching Rachel McAdams kind of channel Bruce Campbell towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
What else is she in?
The Notebook and About Time. Yeah, she was in the Best Picture winner Spotlight. She's done a lot of movies, but she's really unleashed in this. But Dylan O'Brien is terrific too. And yes, there is a Bruce Campbell cameo, sort of. I'm not going to give it away, but yeah, he does appear in one scene. And the other movie I wanted to talk about was, I just saw it last night. The brand new Wuthering Heights, written and directed by Emerald Fennell, who gave us Promising Young Woman and Saltburn. And this is pretty much, I mean, I've seen maybe 12 adaptations of Wuthering Heights at this point. I mean, you got the classic William Wyler version from 1939 with Laurence Olivier and Merle Oberon. And then in 1970, you had one with Timothy Dalton. And, Heathcliff has been portrayed by everybody from Charlton Heston to Ian McShane and Ralph Fiennes. Tom Hardy, I think, is actually the best one in the British miniseries. But this new Wuthering Heights is dazzling. The thing is, when the trailers first came out, that some people thought this came off like the porno version. And I will say, purists may not like it, but Margot Robbie, who plays Catherine, does masturbate on the moors. Heathcliff does suck her fingers. Isabel ends up in a dog, ends up chained with a dog collar at one point. I mean, basically. Catherine and Heathcliff, they do everything but anal in this movie.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Remember,
this is Emerald Fennell, who wrote Promising Young Woman and won the Oscar for that. But look, Margot Robbie, sensational.
They gave her an Oscar for that? For what? Screenplay?
Honestly, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't even
Promising
comment.
Young Woman?
She won
for
writing Promising Young Woman. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I did watch that one. I don't see it winning an Oscar. But.
No, like Promising Young Woman is not for me. Saltburn was okay, but I heard that cribs from something else. So.
Mm-hmm. And look, just to let everybody know, Jacob Elordi, who just played Frankenstein's monster, is awesome as Heathcliff. So is Margot Robbie, ravishing as ever. They really do fit into the parts. Emerald Fennell is very faithful to Emily Bronte's text, but here again, taking liberties with it.
So that's my question right there, though. Is it still a ghost story? Because if the answer is no, then I'm out again. Because if you've read Wuthering Heights, it's a fucking ghost story.
It's a ghost story. Yes, it's a ghost story.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Gothic classic. I mean, absolutely. It's not my favorite version of Wuthering Heights. That remains the Tom Hardy version with the William Wyler right behind it. But look, Warner Brothers spent $80 million on this. It's the most expensive Wuthering Heights we've ever gotten. I do think it's worth seeing in the theater. And particularly what really struck me was the music, very operatic. Emerald Fennell actually hired a artist by the name of Charlie XCX, who did a 12-track album released this month, which is, moody, atmospheric, and Gothic in its own way. And it really makes this version stand out from any others in the past. So look, take your partner, go see Wuthering Heights, and have a very, very sexy dynamite time, because I certainly did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, so Lorne's been beating on the drum for a while. So I finally got, and I watched, it's the first one of these films that I watched. It's Durander. Is that what it's called? Durander?
Durander. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's directed by Aditya Dar. And man, the lead character right out the gate, it kind of threw me off, because I was looking at him, I was like, he looks kind of like Fabio mixed with Ben Stiller. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on there.
Oh,
Ben Stiller and Fabio.
Yeah,
Ben Stiller and Fabio. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I misheard that. I heard Vince Gill. That wasn't what I heard, right?
Vince Gill. No. His name's Rand. The main star is Ranveer, right? Ranveer?
Yeah.
That was his name. It's very slick production. It's has a lot of slow motion. Kind of like The Matrix reminded me of. But like that opening scene when he goes on to there's like, I'm assuming some of this stuff happened for real. Like,
yeah, it all happened for real.
Yeah. So, but it's like a spy espionage. He's an undercover guy, undercover spy. He goes onto this plane, or I mean, this negotiator goes onto this plane, and then it does like a flashback scene. You see this dude just getting his neck just, I mean, it's pretty graphic with the gore. And so I respected like those aspects of it. But when they break out in song and dance, I'm kind of like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, but I'm not used to I mean, I'd like to see some more horror films, in this, in this style, like this type of film. But it is very long. It's shit.
Yeah.
200, I think it's 214 minutes or some shit, but
wow.
It's like 3.5 hours. So yeah.
How did you feel about when the movie decided to play real audio of a real terrorist attack that's being portrayed in the film, in the movie?
I didn't know that was real. So
those audio files in the middle of the film?
I didn't know those were real. Okay. I know a lot of that shit looks real. When there's one scene where this dude, he has like these hooks all in his face and all in his legs and shit. And the dude's like just pulling, it looks like something like out of Hellraiser, but he's like trying to interrogate him. He rips the damn hooks out his face. Like, gosh, damn. This other scene where a guy gets a rope thrown on his neck and then he gets dragged with a motorcycle and slung into like these spike things on a fence. And it's just like, that image is mind blowing. But it's very slick though. That's one thing that kind of puts me off a little bit. I mean, it is very action packed. I'll say that. The set design is amazing. It looks like a real. All these places look real, like they look lived in. What is it? The underworld of the Karachi terrorist Karachi, or whatever.
Yeah, it's Karachi, Pakistan. It's and then there's scenes all along the border actually. And it's funny because Kashmir is controlled by India, but like it's basically the West Bank of India and Pakistan, and that it's very contested.
You have to lock in though, or you'll get lost like a motherfucker. If you're not locked in and reading, like paying attention to everything they're saying, I could see somebody getting lost pretty easy.
The stuff I just love though, like the fact that like if this was an American film, the early scene of, hey, if you want to win this guy's get into this guy's gang, you're gonna what are you gonna do? Is you're gonna save his son from being assassinated.
Right.
Well, how well does that go?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
That would not happen in an American film ever.
No, it wouldn't. And also, you wouldn't see like the lead actor almost get raped in one of the first scenes. Like the lead action hero almost gets raped. Like you're like, holy shit!
At the point where you realize that's where this is going, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Apparently, that really actually happened.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's savage as hell. I'm pretty sure that like it's speaking on things that really happened. Like a lot of these people are portraying real people. I'm not real familiar with the culture either. So, but no, man, it was an experience for sure. Like there's a sequel coming out though, right? The Revenge.
The second half of it is next month.
Yeah, that's man.
So all the bad shit that happened in the first half is going to get paid back.
Yeah.
And
it did kind of throw me off a little bit though with the main guy. He's got like a love interest with like a teenage girl. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what the hell's going on here? But
it's kind of a mix. It's hard to explain it as a film because it's like it's a film about.
It's structured in chapters.
Yeah, it's about the Indian RAW, the intelligence agency, sends an undercover operative into the Pakistani underworld because the government of Pakistan is relying on the underworld, the mafia of Pakistan, to actually take part, like carry out the terrorist attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can't just invade the army; it doesn't work. But along the way, it also gets into like the political corruption of Pakistan and how this whole organization works. And you have to see like figures rise up the political scene through basically just gangsterism and how open it is, openly corrupt it is. It's definitely a lot of movie, but I would definitely say it's something people would enjoy if they had the balls to watch it like Darren did. Dark did. Darren, have you got to do it yet?
I haven't seen it. I'm not the pleasure.
Gotta do it. I'll get to someday.
Yeah,
I will.
I mean, I'll take on something. It don't matter. I'll watch anything. But like, I'm not a big action guy, but I can still get out of my comfort zone and check something out. I do urge people to do that all the time. But no, man. So I watched that, and then the only other thing that recently I watched it with my wife. I was trying to find something we could both watch but it's called The Mayor of Kingstown, and it's on Paramount Plus or whatever. And you want to talk about a bleak ass show? We watched all 4 seasons in this, like, so it's like 40 episodes. But basically, it's like a crime thriller series. Jeremy Renner's in it.
Does he get run over by a snowmobile? Do
what?
Does he get run over by a snowmobile?
No snowmobiles. It's in a fictional town of Kingstown in Michigan or whatever. But basically a prison system community. There's like all these massive prisons, and they pretty much control the city. Like all the economy runs through the prison systems or whatever. And he's kind of like the go-between between politicians, law enforcement, criminals, he's kind of like the mediator of all these entities. You got the Crips, you got skinheads, you got. It's brutal as shit though. Like there's like no like people aren't safe on this show, and it does have nudity and like all that shit going on too.
That's good things. I need to check that out.
Yeah. It kind of gets a little weak with Jeremy Renner because with his character Mike McCluskey, I never really feel like he's ever in real danger, kind of deal. You know, like you feel like he's gonna make it out of every fucking situation. But there's like prison riots and shit, man. It's I don't know. I'm interested in the 5th season that's coming out. So.
Okay,
but that's the recent shit I watched, man. I recommend that you maintain the same thickness for all the cardstock you use on each individual page. It gives the display a pleasant, uniformed look.
I completely agree, Dirk. It's tempting to use thicker paper to give the illusion of depth, but over time you'll risk the edges curling and migrating. Instead, consider textured paper of the same...
What the fuck are you two doing? It's an hour to the region-free premiere.
We're recording an episode of Mod Podge Masterpieces, obviously.
It's our new scrapbooking channel. Can't put all your eggs in one basket, and any road. I really enjoy gluing down bits and bobs.
Okay, look, whatever. I don't even care. Just be ready at showtime. No bullshit, capiche? And have either of you seen Sam?
Who's Sam?
I've never heard of the bloke.
Darren, you don't need to do this. I swear, I mean, I don't know who's paying you or what. I never did anything, man. Just please, oh God, please don't do this, please.
Yeah, I never heard of the bloke Sam either.
That's killer, man. That's killer.
That brought back so many fucking flashbacks from working at Michael's. Jesus Christ. And having to scan every single individual SKU on that 12 by 12 fucking scrapbook paper. Jesus fucking Christ. God damn it.
I just wanted to make Darren say bits and bops.
Oh God, I say that all the time in the UK.
Bloody
I do
hell.
research on I do constant research on like UK slang.
Oh God, yeah, I'm teaching Dirk a lot as we go on the show.
Yeah, because I gotta ask him, what the fuck does that mean, dude? Like,
yeah, all the time as well.
What's a dog's uncle about? I don't get it.
Well, man, I guess we're getting into horror game movies.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who wants to start with this?
I can kick it off with one a series that not a lot of people are even aware of. Video game horror or video game movies. It's not my area of expertise, really. I'm not a gamer, but I have seen quite a few movies.
There's not that many though, right? Like, there's not as many as
There are
you
actually a lot when you think about them.
There is.
There's
I
some.
was trying to find.
But
Like,
Jesus, that's a forgotten one. Dungeons and Dragons. Oof.
Yeah.
With Jeremy Irons.
Dungeons and Dragons is not really a video game adaptation. I apologize to all the Dungeons and Dragons players out there. I'm not trying to offend no one.
Until
RPG.
Dawn, Resident Evil and Never-Ending Franchise, House of the Dead, Silent Hill, Five Nights at Freddy's, Stay Alive, Home Sweet Home, Dead Rising, Doom, Blood Rain, Werewolves Within, which I fucking still hate.
well, I mean, like, I know there's at least 20.
There's a lot of these fucking things.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Super Mario Brothers. God damn it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll get licensed, and it's like there's no connection to the game whatsoever. You wouldn't even think of it as. I mean, Iron Lung is a video game movie too. There's.
Yeah.
You did name one that I'm going to talk about on that list, and it's Dead Rising, which is, I think a lot of people aren't really aware of these movies. It all kind of kicked off with this movie, Dead Rising. It's also known as Zombrex Dead Rising Sun, but it's the same movie, like a slightly different edit. I think they released bits and pieces to coincide with one of the game releases, but it's directed by the game creator Keiji Inafune, and there he goes. It's kind of a rare DVD of the first film. truth be told, this is one case where the American adaptation's actually better. This is not very good, but you can watch it on YouTube. It has its moments, but it's kind of scattershot. I don't think it was really primarily made to be a movie so much as just a little bonus thing to coincide with the games. But you can watch that on YouTube if you're a diehard fan. Having said that, the American, there's 2 movies. The first one is Dead Rising Watchtower. This has a really good cast, actually. Virginia Madsen is in this. Dennis Haysbert. Rob Riggle is Frank West, which the game fans will know. He's hilarious in this. And pretty much every Canadian genre actor you've seen on the Sci-Fi Channel is in this movie. It's just fun. It's nothing that you haven't seen storyline-wise in the zombie genre. That's at this point, I'm pretty convinced that everything has been done when it comes to zombies. But it's lively, it's gory, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good popcorn movie that I'm quite shocked didn't get any real theatrical play, because it's significantly better than a lot of the Resident Evil sequels and this some of the like the second Silent Hill movie for sure. I don't know why this didn't get a bigger release, because it feels like a big movie. There's nonstop action. There's some very inspired gore in this, and I don't know why people haven't embraced it a little bit more. I actually thought it was quite fun. I just revisited it, and always worth watching Virginia Madsen, who, to me, arguably the best horror movie of the 90s with Candyman. The sequel, which is Dead Rising Endgame, also solid, not quite as good as Watchtower, but these are worth taking a dive into if you want a good zombie franchise. But like I said, the Japanese one, unless you're just a diehard game fan, I'd say wait on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it really made that much of a splash here, because I don't like, compared to something like Silent Hill or Resident Evil or anything else that Lorne rattled off, everyone's like, dead what?
Yeah, I've heard of it, which I was like, okay, well this has to be a pretty big game franchise, and they've made like 6 of them, I think. But yeah, I guess just for whatever reason didn't make. It's a Sony picture. I would have thought maybe it would have gotten a decent release, but check it out. Rob Riggle's hilarious in this too.
What you got, Lauren? Anything?
I don't game at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go to the obvious place, whereas you guys are all expecting me to go. I really just want to kind of like talk about kind of the double standard that exists with these movies. We all talk about like wanting practical effects back over digital effects in especially in horror, but all over the place, really. And yet there seems to be people who get upset at a video game adaptation not being true to the original, which is a pure digital sphere. And I think that double standard is born out of a couple things. So backing up a little bit, I think that these are generally speaking no-win propositions. They're made because people know the ID. They can understand what the franchise is, what the film that they're selling instantaneously as soon as you announce the title. So it's easy to get funding to make these movies. But it's a no-win situation because the audience is programmed to dislike them. They want the films to be made desperately. They'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But inevitably they turn on them. And I think it's because there's a different standard for film than there is for video games. And that comes from, there's first off generational tastes involved, whereas younger people are more apt towards anime and to video games, as opposed to the older folks, like I think pretty much everyone on this panel, which is pretty much, we're more of a, movies and music guys. I mean, Dan doesn't do music particularly, but we're of a generation that valued the 90-minute spectacle on a big screen that felt real and had weight and made us feel emotions, which is why people continue to watch films like Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? It didn't get lost to time. No one's bitching that it looks old, right? It's the reason Jaws endures. But to the millennials and post-millennials, I think that they don't value what we value quite as much. They primarily looking for different entertainment, and they're a generation of social media people. So video games still work for them largely because it's about them playing a game. Characters are developed in a game to reflect the play, not organically as story.
I also think with if you're not, I mean, there's a fine line if you don't know, if you've never played the game, you know, and you go to watch the movie, like some of these are done where they expected you to have played the game, like to know what the fuck's going on at all, you know. Yeah, there's a fine line and with that too.
It's like dumping the average person into Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna make heads or tails of most of the film.
Exactly.
It's through no fault of their own. But I just think that it's one of those things that the fans of the video game enjoy playing the video game, not watching the video game.
You have that your own movie in your head, I find.
Exactly. It's a deeply personal story, even though it's a mass market product.
Yeah.
And it's never going to feel as good because when you survive a horror video game, or if you win or beat the final boss, that feels like a personal achievement. There's no way that an avatar on screen, especially in the modern world of screenwriting, is ever going to match that emotional reaction. So I think that, like, of all those films that I named, I mean, you might have something in there you like. You might have something in there you love. But as a like subgenre, it's pretty fucking weak.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not a lot to adapt. I remember when House of the Dead came out.
Jesus Christ, Dan, really?
Bad movie. But I remember some people like,
I love that game. How do you fuck up a game like House of the Dead so badly?
Right? It's just guys like shooting monsters in a house. Like there's not really.
You put Jurgen Prochnow in it, and somehow your fucking movie tanked. I'm like,
you know, he's making an unofficial sequel right now, right?
He is, to counter Paul W.S. Anderson, the Resident Evil director.
I didn't know that. Oh my fuck! God damn, Jurgen Prochnow is dead though, right? I didn't dream that up.
Yeah, I believe pretty much everybody died in that movie.
No, but I mean the actor Jurgen Prochnow.
Oh no, Jurgen lives. Jurgen is alive.
He's still alive? Holy shit! I feel so bad now.
Let's confirm if the Loot legend is alive. I believe.
But actually, it's being titled something cheeky to seem like it's playing with the 28 Days Later films. So I think that's pretty funny.
84 years young and alive.
He's still alive?
Then he'll be in it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious because Paul Anderson, the Resident Evil guy's doing House of the Dead now, and Uwe Boll's just like, no, fuck you.
No, but like Uwe Boll can go suck a fucking cock. I don't care. Like honestly, like he's been the worst thing to happen to video game adaptations in a long. I saw Blood Rain in the theater. I saw Blood Rain theater. I don't think I saw House of the Dead. I think
Alone in the Dark is the worst.
The what?
Alone in the Dark.
I never saw Alone in the Dark. That was one of the Uwe Boll movies. I was like, nah, I'm good.
That's Tara Reid as a scientist in that one.
Was Frankie Muniz in that one?
No, he's in Stay Alive.
Stay Alive is what I'm thinking of. Sorry, I get those two confused.
You know, some of Boll's later stuff though, like Rampage is good. Tunnel Rats, his Darfur movie. It's just he's marked by those video game movies that somehow got wide releases.
He did a decent slasher called Seed. I don't know if anyone's seen that.
Yeah.
Back in what was it, 10,
also
15
based
years
on
ago?
a video game, and I don't understand what that video game would have looked like.
Right. Yeah.
Which is interesting to me, but he's not the worst of the worst. I want him to come back and have House of the Dead 2 or whatever he's going to call it just be a masterpiece.
Look, I mean, if they were going to do House of the Dead and make it super cheesy, then yes, Uwe Boll can do that, but not with the current iteration. I remember watching that movie, and it's been a long time, and I haven't revisited it, so everyone can, correct my ass if I'm wrong, which is fine. I swear there was a scene where it was like raining in part of it, and it was like raining on one side of the boat and then not raining on the other side. I was like, this is a rowboat. It's not a big boat, guys.
So it's called 23 Years Later, Return to Zombie Island.
Oh, shit.
And it is completely unofficial, and it's going to happen.
Is that the one? I know he's directing a movie with Hollywood cannibal Armie Hammer. He's going to have his comeback.
What?
Yeah, Armie Hammer is making his return to acting in an Uwe Boll movie.
Armie Hammer?
Yes.
That's when you hit the bottom of the barrel.
Hey, that guy was like probably going to win an Oscar at one point, but now he's making Uwe Boll movies.
Well, he was also in the Lone Ranger. So.
But to be fair, like Ben Kingsley has been in Uwe Boll films.
Yeah. Meatloaf.
Yeah.
He's had
Burt
Reynolds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The original Lone Ranger was a badass, but Armie Hammer's Lone Ranger was a total boob. Total boob.
Well, Darren, what film you want to talk about?
Right, yeah. So this kind of worked out for me. I'd always wanted to see Until Dawn, because I've heard, it's kind of like a slasher, and I thought it just piqued my interest. So you've got Ella Rubin, she plays Clover. Her sister's gone missing exactly a year ago, and her and a group of friends decide like they want to go back, retrace her steps to see if they can find her. They stumble upon this like welcome center where they look in the book and they realize that the sister had actually visited there. And up until this part, I was kind of into it. Mass killers show up and they start getting picked off one by one, and we're like half hour into the film. And then it completely gets weird. And I get the fact that it's a like video game and all the shit that goes on later. But I would have just liked to have seen it just concentrate on being a slasher. There's like a weird kind of supernatural time loop that goes on. There's possession. There's Wendigos. And even like the possession aspect, if they'd have just made it kind of like an Evil Dead film, I think that would have worked. Because this by far, by no means is a bad film. It just tries to do too many things. But in the end, it's like 1 hour, 45 minutes, and I was never bored. It's always got something going on. Yeah. I kind of liked it, but I was kind of mixed about it, to be honest. I would say give it a go, though, because even though the director's just trying to chuck everything in the kitchen sink at one point, it's entertaining, and I think for the first half hour, slasher fans will like get a kick out of it as well. But I was like kind of sort of pleasantly surprised, but a bit mixed.
It's got some good gore. Odessa Azian from the last.
Oh, the gore is fantastic. Yeah, I will say that. Yeah,
it's a fun little movie. I liked it.
Well, Sam, which one do you want to talk about?
I mean, I feel like I've kind of already put in a lot of my 2 cents, but
okay.
As far as I know, Dirk's like, okay, on to the next person.
We're done.
But no, like video game adaptations are hard because, like, as an elder millennial, a lot of this stuff is stuff that I grew up with, except for stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's and whatnot. But I remember, in the 90s, we had stuff like the Street Fighter movie coming out, Super Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat. And you know what? I don't care how much of a hot mess that like Super Mario Brothers and Street Fighter are as live action movies. They are amazing, like stunning. And also the Mortal Kombat movie is still like actually, pretty solid. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Now that is a fucking mess. I don't know how you guys messed that up so bad.
Unfinished effects all over the place in that one too.
Also, James Remar in place of Christopher Lambert. I'm like, nope, no, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's just like you came off of something like the first Mortal Kombat movie and then you made Annihilation 2 years later, that's embarrassing.
I never did understand Christopher Lambert playing Raiden to begin with.
You know, it's better than James Remar. Just saying.
Right.
You know, and I mean, like, I'm hopeful for the next Mortal Kombat movie since we've rebooted it. I don't feel that hopeful for this new Street Fighter movie that has like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and Carl Urban in it. I'm like, this is like, I hate to say it, that Street Fighter movie is too cartoonish, and I feel like I can just feel my youth withering away right now.
I mean, the 94 one was pretty cartoonish. I will say this, he's a horrible human being in real life, but Andrew Bernarski steals the show as Zangief. He's just got some lines in there. Quick, change the channel. And I
forgot about that one. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
M. Bison is a bad guy. It's so stupid. It does like reach a level of camp that I don't know. There's something about it. Raul Julia, who was a trooper because he was dying when he made that movie.
I know, and it's just like he's over there acting his ass off with stomach cancer, and then he's busting out these great moments that we still revisit every week. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Yeah,
like for real.
We were robbed of a lot of good stuff from
crazy. Well, the crazy part about Street Fighter is that it's cartoonish, but it's also fairly realistic compared to what I've seen coming out of that new Street Fighter movie. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm on board with some of the casting. Like, I'm on board with 50 Cent as Balrog. Totally fine. Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki. Fuck off. I don't have time for this.
At least you don't have Logan Paul in there, because that feels like something.
I don't know. I mean, thankfully, but it's like, I don't know. I'm still not feeling Roman Reigns, and I'm not even really completely feeling Cody Rhodes at this point as Guile, and it's just...
No.
I don't know. Am I old now?
No.
Did I boom around?
Definitely not. Stone, what you got? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean... unfortunately, I have to disagree with Lorne in that I found Werewolves Within kind of fun. It was like Clue with werewolves. And I actually really liked the new Tomb Raider that came out a few years ago with Alicia Vikander. But when it comes to video game adaptations, there's only one that really matters to me. And it is a thriller. And, Super Mario Brothers fans can boast and brag all they want, but the truth of the matter is that the 93 version of Super Mario Brothers is not the very first video game adaptation. It is, in fact, Cloak and Dagger, directed by Richard Franklin and written by Tom Holland, who, of course, later gave us Fright Night and Child's Play. And they had collaborated on Psycho 2 the year before. And yes, Cloak and Dagger was an actual game that was released by Atari. This is a special copy that I have that was signed by the stars of the film, William Forsythe and Henry Thomas from E.T.
Is that cartridge gold?
Yeah. It's a special 40th anniversary Cloak and Dagger Atari cartridge. Right. And they both signed it last year when Sam and I were in Nashville. And, it's actually not only is an adaptation of the video game, but it's also a quasi remake of a great film noir called The Window, about a young boy who witnesses a murder, and but nobody will believe him. His parents won't believe him, and he goes to extreme lengths to try to convince everybody that he's telling the truth. And he's constantly in peril, constantly in danger. Well, in Cloak and Dagger, the video game actually has government secrets in it, embedded in it. So now Henry Thomas is running all over San Antonio being chased by spies who want this video game cartridge back from him very, very badly. And You know, as a lot of people know in my circle, you know, I adore this movie. I adore the original Window from 1949 as well. Meeting Henry Thomas was like a dream come true for me. And of course, rest in peace, Dabney Coleman, who is one of my favorite character actors of all time, and actually has a dual role in Cloak and Dagger as not only Henry Thomas's father, but also an imaginary superhero known as Jack Flack. So
I mainly remember him from what was that, 9 to 5 or whatever?
9 to 5, and he was also in War Games. Yeah. But I'm going to die on this hill. Cloak and Dagger is not just the very first video game adaptation. It's also one of the best, and it's sad that it's not mentioned a lot.
I remember that from my childhood, man. For sure.
Yeah,
no doubt
it's a great little. Just imagine, you know, Richard Franklin and Tom Holland getting together and saying, you know what, let's make a Hitchcock thriller for kids, and that's essentially what it is. But man, they really push that PG rating to its violent limits. I mean, you know, yeah, there's it's very violent for a PG movie. Very, very violent.
Solid pick. Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Oh yeah, Cloak and Dagger is my jam.
I don't think I ever played the game either on Atari. I mean, I was too busy playing fucking Pong or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, I don't remember ever playing that game either.
I've never played the game either, but on YouTube you can obviously see playthroughs of it. So you know, I mean, you'd have to find it at an arcade somewhere because it's super rare. I mean, this movie was supposed to put it out in regular cartridge form, but it never happened. So all that we have are the giant consoles because of the video game crash of '83. It just didn't happen. And last but not least, Sam and I did an audio commentary on Cloak and Dagger, which is available on YouTube. Highly recommend you all check it out.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the one I watched was one I hadn't seen, and that's Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh God,
that was the only one I hadn't seen. Well, no, it ain't the only one. I think I gave up on the other one after the third one. But
what?
I gotta admit,
Afterlife.
Yeah, I don't like none of that shit.
Well,
the reason is like because I remember playing Resident Evil when it first came out. I remember when you first see that zombie turn around, looking at and you know that experience of playing that game was terrifying, kind of, and because there was nothing like it before that. So, but when I watched Welcome to Raccoon City, it felt more like the game, but I could see somebody that never played the game, they're not going to know what the fuck's going on with all these characters. Like the character development, you had to have played the game to understand what the hell's going on, really. Because it's like it's forcing 2 games into one film, and it's like less than 2 hours. So there's a lot to go through, and it's not. It is what I expected it pretty much. It's cool. It had some nostalgia shit to it a little bit, but I think I would be more interested. I haven't seen them, but I might be interested in some of the anime films.
Understandable.
They might actually be truer to the game, but like the Mila Jovovich films, I was not a fan of those at all. It's not the same shit. Like it's more sci-fi, To me, that's not Resident Evil.
Yeah. Like I've never played a Resident Evil game in my life. I have watched friends and Chris play them.
Yeah.
But I've never played any of those. And when I saw Resident Evil in the theater, the first one, I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I kind of like dissociated for most of it. But I was kind of on board with the second one, once I was like, oh, so that's what a Resident Evil is. Neat. And then I didn't see Apocalypse, but I loved Afterlife because Wesker was such an evil bastard in there. I was like, that's my jam.
Okay. Yeah,
what do you guys think of Zach Cregger doing the new one this year?
I
don't know what to make of that. I mean, Barbarian and weapons to Resident Evil. Like, I don't know what that looks like if he's going to do some wild, crazy.
I don't know, man. I think they should have started with Welcome to Raccoon City. Like, they should have started if they were going to do it. Like, I don't understand that choice of why they went that other route and then bring this one out in 2021. And it's like, that's ass backwards. So
it's probably going to be silly, and I'm going to laugh at it if it's anything like Weapons. So
yeah, but
what struck me about the first Resident Evil was that it was R-rated, but there's no gore in it.
No,
there's.
You
what
see
is wrong with these
movies?
movies?
Laser beams or some shit, right? Like,
yeah, you got the laser beam.
Most any amount of any large amount of violence is pretty much has to warrant you an R rating.
Yeah,
I mean.
There's
also that brief explicit shot of Mila Jovovich in the shower. That
is that what it was?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Well, RPG movies used to do that shit all the time, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I tapped out after the first one. I would have been interested to see what George Romero would have done with it, but
it's a whole
Yeah.
You pretty much saw what he was going to do with it, though.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't have been worse than
all the others.
You know?
It was going to be really bad.
Yeah, I mean, just go watch Dawn of the Dead or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't slander Dawn. Enough of that Dawn slander.
Stick a needle in my eye? The fuck you're gonna do that? Hold up, what's this now, a Springsteen album cover? Well, that is an unreasonable amount of goddamn corn. What the fuck was that? Please be a Pomeranian or any little kickable dog. If this dress had pockets, I'd quote that line from Ghostbusters about maybe having a milk bone, but...
Nice.
All right. Well, Darren, we're going to talk about the Spiral Staircase, 1946.
Right. So here we go. I've only got the DVD because the Blu-ray is really hard to get hold of. Stone got it. But yeah. So this is directed by Robert Sidermack, based on a novel, Some Must Watch by Ethelina White. And in the novel, they kind of changed a little bit, with the main character was like a cripple rather than being a mute. For me personally, I think it's one of the most influential horror films of all time. You think about it, this was like 14 years before Peeping Tom and Psycho. Yeah. And it's almost like the blueprint for the slasher film that was to be, that was to come later. You can add Giallo in there as well. We see a close-up of the eyeball. Very much like from Deep Red, Dario Argento's Deep Red, and we
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas, yes. Absolutely, absolutely. And we even got the opening kill as well, which is pretty much lifted by Argento and Tenebrae. You've got Dorothy McGuire. She's amazing actress, because she literally, with this role, she's almost like a silent film actress, where she just got to go on her expressions alone. Stunning as well, absolutely beautiful.
It was originally going to be Ingrid Bergman in that.
Really?
Was it really? Oh, okay. I don't know whether
the producer. Yeah,
I kind of think McGuire's perfect in this role. What I like about it as well, because it plays out over one night. It's like a stormy night. Suspense is there, all the way through. The director captures like dark shadows and all that. And I would put this, and I don't say this lightly, but I would say this is kind of a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For what's to come, yeah. So that's Spiral Staircase.
Get Elsa Lanchester popping up in there as well.
Like a bad bitch. Holy shit. Her as Mrs. Warren. I loved it. Oh my gosh. My favorite part of that movie.
She wasn't too fond of the poor dog.
No.
And Lorne, you do have a good video on the channel running down just how important Ethelina White is, because That's not in any way a household name, unfortunately, but it should be in the horror genre. And yeah,
Spiral Staircase is interesting because it comes from that old dark house lineage. It also was absolutely born of the earliest days of the Gothic romance, even though there's the romance angles here kind of get overshadowed by the horror elements. So the balance is a little different than they would be for most of the published lines of Gothic romances. But and I know people have heard me talk about this before, but female voices in the horror genre consistently get downplayed by the people who are trying to white knight current female figures. And I have zero problem. Elizabeth Massey is one of my greatest literary heroes. So yeah, I agree. There's some great women writers today, but there tends to be this pretend, this completely made up anyway, idea that women have not had a substantial voice in horror. And if you look at film, that's fairly true, but women haven't been directing major films outside of Germany and in the Second World War until fairly recently. That's the harsh truth. But in the literary horror space, women have really been consistently active. It just happens that the way these titles were marketed was to the romance reader. At the beginning of the episode, we talked about Bronte. Wuthering Heights was a Gothic romance, perhaps the most embraced by the literary establishment of all of them, maybe. But it was absolutely a ghost story. And Ethelina White was really for a while, the face of horror. And it's gotten forgotten. And we just jumped from Lovecraft right to Blatty, I guess. And we kind of ignore the reign of this incredible woman who was adapted by Hitchcock. Spiral Staircase is a masterpiece of film. Her literary work is incredible. So yeah, she's one of my big heroes, and I do have a video on it. The film, though, I do think is an amazing piece of work on its own, even without its literary roots. Not that it would exist without that, but the art direction used Swiss painter Henry Fuseli as its basis. And if you check out Fuseli's artwork, which you do know, you just don't know that you know, you'll completely get that was the inspiration for how the structure of the images on screen were put together. There's this one scene in the film where the two main characters, the lovers, as it were, are dancing in this courtyard with this checkerbox floor, and it's as beautiful as anything in Cat People. And if you know me, you know what I'm saying there.
Yeah,
just an exceptional film. It very much was inspired by noir as a backplate, but then also like Roman constructionalist art. So it's a visually complex, beautiful, and really underrated. Pairs really well with The Innocents if you want to make a double feature.
Great double, yeah.
They're very different films, but they play really well together. And you know, Darren is right. We've had the proto slasher thing. You can go to Night of Terror or this film. There are all these films that kind of look we're laying the groundwork, but I don't think any of them are quite as elegant as this movie. And maybe you don't want elegance in your horror movie, and I respect that. This is not Evil Dead 2. Okay, it's not.
Right.
But if you want to be absorbed in something that has texture and feels like silk, but maybe there's a ghost inside the silk, here it is.
Don't you find this weird, though, because this was made in 1946, and it doesn't feel like an old movie to me. It almost feels like it was made in the 60s or what have you. You know, that's a compliment I can give it.
Well, I don't know.
It's way ahead of its time, I think.
I think it's just the level of artistry.
Okay.
It's kind of how
it's kind of timeless, right?
Yeah. I'm not a huge Wizard of Oz fan. I'm not. But it's easy to embrace Wizard of Oz as the story it's telling. And if you didn't know the backstory, right? And someone told you it was made in the late 40s or even in the 60s, you'd buy it. Because the storytelling is sharp enough. And they're focused on the story, not the time. I mean, Spiral Staircase, if I asked you what year does the story take place in? You couldn't
1906, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, they're on a horse and buggy, right?
Sure, I mean, but where? I mean, that's so horse and buggy. Though you got to realize that it's not like Henry Ford invented the automobile and horse and buggy went away that year.
Right. Not everybody had automobiles when they came out.
So I think the beauty of it is it's just kind of this beautiful time period. And it's undefined, and because of that, it does seem a little more timeless. Whereas if you look at some, especially dramas of the late 30s and early 40s, they've aged really poorly because they hinge on the era they were made in.
Yeah,
and the problem that worked fine in the 1960s, right? Because you could be nostalgic for the 30s and the 60s because you were alive. Right, but today, no one's really nostalgic for that period because no one remembers it.
Right.
You can think it's really cool, you can be into it, but you can't be truly nostalgic for it.
No.
I gotta bring up my favorite scene in the whole film is when the doctor has to run off with the little boy for his father, and she's left alone, and he has to walk home. And I know it's at the very beginning of the film, but that suspense when it's raining and she's got the stick up against the fence going down, and it's and you see the black slicker suit, like it reminds me of like the No Face Killer from Blood and Black Lace. That's my favorite scene of the whole damn film. I mean, I like the whole film, but that suspense, you're like, damn, what's finna happen? The hand comes out and he's just pissed off. You don't know why. But no.
Yeah, that sequence is kind of like bridges perfectly the idea that cat people in the opening of Suspiria. Like cat people, the park scene, right? And then Suspiria, that whole opening.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The raining. Yeah. That's true. Shit, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Now, cat people gets the tie goes to the runner, obviously, because there's a production year, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, this was one of RKO's biggest hits of the decade, and it's another one. I mean, if you ask most horror fans to name an older horror film, you might get Psycho, and they'll never come up with like Spiral Staircase, and it's a shame because this is I mean a Mount Rushmore type title, and. Yeah, I hope more people see it. I guess the Blu-ray is kind of out of print, but Kino's also putting a lot out right now that they're re-releasing. So I'm sure you'll get a chance to grab it, and I highly recommend it. It's definitely a horror film that you must see.
It's foundational viewing.
Yeah, for sure.
It
never gets old either. I've seen it probably 4 times, and it never gets old. And every time I watch it. And it just flows right through. I mean, there's no dull moments.
It's a watershed film, one of the scariest movies of the 40s. I mean, just the killer POV with the eyes and everything, just incredible. And, credit to the director, Robert Siedmiak. How do you pronounce his last name? I'm sorry. Siedmiak. Okay. He actually had a huge year in 1946 because he also directed The Killers with Ava Gardner and The Dark Mirror with Olivia de Havilland, which are all 3 excellent films.
I have one of his films I still need to check out. It's called The Devil Strikes at Night. So I need to check that one out.
Very active as a screenwriter. He was a journeyman. He considered himself more of a journeyman director, but God, you couldn't tell. Worth mentioning that Ethel Barrymore was nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
Yes.
Should have won. Should have won. Just saying.
Yeah, pretty much everyone in the film should have won, but that's a whole different issue.
It was so good.
Dorothy McGuire would get Oscar nominated the year later for Gentleman's Agreement. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I adored Dorothy McGuire, but you said Gentleman's Agreement?
Yeah, won Best Picture in 1947 with Gregory Peck. She finally got Oscar nominated for that one.
Are there any other Dorothy McGuire movies that you can think of? Anybody on the panel, really, that are worth watching? Because honestly, I thought she was fantastic here. She was much work.
Honestly, modern audiences probably know her best from being a Disney mom on certain films like Old Yeller and the Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Comedies like Old Yeller.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that climax of Old Yeller is just one of the funniest things ever.
It is funny. It's hilarious.
It's like, how many times have the ending of this film been ripped off in films later on? You know, you got Eyes of a Stranger. That's one you can mention.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, I could wax lyrical about this film all night. I really could.
Man.
Hello? Hey, Dan, you in here? The door was open for once. Moonbase Alpha to Daniel Schein. Can you David Bowie halftime dance? Hello? Dan, you okay, man? Are you conscious?
I am fine, stoned Gasman. Daniel became tired, so he closed his eyes for a moment. That is all.
You're weird as fuck. You know that? Whatever. You do you. It's half hour to showtime. You're ready. I hope. Still no sign of Sam.
Sam is lost in the secondary narrative. She won't be joining us tonight.
I really don't know what the fuck that means. You got a half an hour. Be ready. Get your shithole head straight, motherfucker.
It means everyone should be ready for a hell of a show.
Yeah, fucking A, Dan.
I'm ready to follow the buzzards there. Right on it.
Let me get my lantern. I am lost in the secondary narrative. I'm lost in the secondary narrative of having to go the fuck to bed. So I'm gonna bounce for the
Good night, Sam.
Good seeing you, Sam.
Back.
Welcome back.
Next month.
We'll miss you, Sam.
We will miss you.
You have a good one.
Good luck on everything.
Yeah. Good luck for everything.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Stone, you want to go first on we're going to talk about the queen of horror, in my opinion. It might be a debate to some people, but I don't think I think she's the queen. Barbara Steele.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I'm not really the right guy for this. I mean, I've only seen a handful of Barbara Steele movies.
Yeah.
What I managed to watch over the weekend with my lady friend, we watched Black Sunday. Which is a classic unto itself. But we also watched
favorite movie.
We also watched The Pit and the Pendulum with Vincent Price and John Kerr. Man, did American International, they really went really far with those Poe adaptations. I mean, they're gorgeous and they're faithful and they're just stunning. I mean, Vincent Price and Barbara Steele, I mean, they were just terrific in that movie. Yeah. And last but not least, the other Barbara Steele movie I've seen is actually one of my favorite Joe Dante films, Piranha.
Oh yeah.
Which she doesn't have a huge role, but I mean she is there. I mean Black Sunday, I mean the stories I've heard of what she went through. I mean she was only like 19 years old, and some of the things that she was made to do in that, she's not happy about, and she's still with us. She's 88 years old now.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. I got to meet her, which I'm glad. But she changed her mind after she went through Hollywood a little while. She's changed her mind on that.
Really?
About Black Sunday in particular.
About Black Sunday.
Yeah.
She actually took a liking to Dirk and started to come on to him for a little bit.
I feel like that's what was going on. It felt a little weird, but
she's known to date much younger. That's like been like a funny little story that even on Island of Dr. Moreau, she showed up with like some. So there you go.
Super awesome though, and I've always heard bad stories from people like that matters. I don't know. So, but.
Well, you're a key to getting her on the show, so you gotta hit on her. Slide into her DMs.
I did talk to her, her representative at Texas Frightmare. I was going to try to get like an interview with her, but he's like, "Oh, it's too late," and they were loading up. And he said maybe next year, but you know, I didn't go back to Texas Frightmare. So.
Yeah. You should have slipped her your number, Dirk.
Right?
Yes.
What do you want to talk about, Darren, man?
Right. So I'm going to mention these three, but I thought outside the box for this. Three of my favorites, of course: Silent Scream, Black Sunday, which Stone mentioned, and the horrible Dr. Hitchcock. But I'm not going to talk about these. So first up, I basically wanted to watch this film for a long time. It's called The Butterfly Room, 2012.
Okay.
So this is based on the Italian director's own novel. I think it's called Alice from 4 to 5. And he's an Italian director, Jonathan Zaratiniello. So she stars in the main role, Barbara Steele. And like the cast in this, so I'm going to reel off who else is in the film. You've got James Caren in his last role. He died 6 years later. You've got Ray Wise, Heather Langenkamp, Camille Keaton, Adrian King, PJ Souls, and
kind of
Joe
crazy.
Banton.
It's like a horror convention.
You would think it's pretty much like a convention all-stars film, but it's better than that. You know, a lot of these do have bit parts, but it is better than that. So the story centers on Anne, Barbara Steele, and she's this elderly, reclusive old woman, and she's obsessed with butterflies, as in the title. She probably got bipolar, you know, and she forms this disturbing relationship with this young girl, Alice. And the actress was superb in that, Julie Pittman. But she buys her a doll in the opening scene of the film, and this little girl pretty much scams her. And then you've got her forming these relationships with these young girls. She was 75 as well when she made this, and she's by far the best thing in the film. She knocks it out the park. What I will say is it's more like a character study, more in the vein of kind of like Maniac than anything else. And you could even say like there's slasher elements, giallo elements. I know I keep saying it, but there is as well. But she holds this big secret, and it all kind of goes towards the end where we find out what the big secret is. And it's superb in that respect. I just wish this was available for people to see. I don't know if it's got like a DVD, a Blu-ray, or what have you, because I've seen it online. It's not amazing. It's kind of done all in a series of flashbacks as well. And Heather Langenkamp is not the best actress in the world. She plays her daughter. How you would label this, I don't know, maybe hagsploitation, art slasher, maybe. But yeah, I would highly recommend, you know, if you want to go outside the box to try and track this one down. Just quickly, I'll just mention another one I've seen for the first time is Terror Creatures from the Grave, 1965. This was directed by Massimo Pupiello. And we didn't know who directed this for the longest time up until 2015, because he took his name off the film. He pretty much wasn't, you know, he didn't like the way it came out. And he let the producer Ralph Zucker take the credit. But then, you know, in a 2015 interview, he kind of admitted to it. He didn't get on with Barbara Steele at all. They kind of clashed early on in the film. I think 4 days into it, they had this kind of big argument, and then everything was fine apparently after that. It's also called Five Graves for a Medium in Italy, and it centers on an attorney who goes to settle the estate of this recently dead owner, and he finds out that the owner has in fact been dead for a year. You got Barbara Steele. She hasn't got too much to do in this, so I was a bit disappointed. She plays the wife, the widow of the dead man, who lives with Corinne, like the daughter. But I was expecting this to be a zombie film by the way it's marketed, spoken about, and there's very little of that. Last 5 minutes kind of hints at it a little bit. There's a good scene as well where they kind of stumble across this guy's research into like plague victims, and it almost got like that Evil Dead vibe when they're playing back the tape recorder. So I dug all that.
What year was it?
65.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one I was going to say as well. Actually, you would really appreciate it, Dirk, because I know how much you like the Gothic.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
A little bit more than me.
Right.
I would say, yeah, check it out. I would say check it out, but you've got to really be in the mood, and you've got to like these kind of old style Italian Gothics. But yeah.
I was just now looking. The Butterfly Room is on Netflix. It's not.
Okay.
It's not in this region. So if you got a VPN, you can get on that.
It's definitely worth checking out. It's not going to blow you away, but it's worth watching just for her alone.
Yeah, she plays in a lot of films. I've noticed that she's just got like a bit part. She's not in it long. It's almost like to get her name on it on the poster or something.
Like Silent Scream, yeah, which I love that film, and she's in it for like the last 5 minutes, or maybe a little bit early on.
That goes to show like her impact on the genre.
Right, Shivers as well. She was in Shivers in the bathroom scene.
She always makes. I mean, she always commands the screen, even if she's in it for 2 seconds.
Like, I mean, I was watching 8.5 because I know she's in it, and she's not in it much, but it's like it's a little comedy film, something I really wouldn't usually watch, but it is what it is. But what you got, Dan, man?
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, we're fighting about Jamie Lee Curtis in the chat. Jamie Lee Curtis is she's the store brand version in this case, but so I've talked a lot about Barbara Steele and Black Sunday. Black Sunday, everybody's always wanted me to do like a top 100 movies. It's hard for me because I've just seen so much, but I always like, well, give me a few. I'm like, well, yeah, Black Sunday would be near the top. I love Black Sunday. I think it's a Gothic horror masterpiece, and one of my favorite movies. I'm not going to talk about that tonight, just because I think
it's been covered.
I've filleted that movie. Yeah. Right. So I think at this point I wanted to talk about Castle of Blood from 1964.
Okay. Marguerite.
Antonio Margheriti, but started out with another film legend, Sergio Corbucci, who directed that for about a week. This is also known as Danza Macabra. Sergio Corbucci worked on it for about a week and had a scheduling conflict that brought in Margheriti. Although Sergio did actually return to shoot, I don't want to do spoilers tonight, but a big murder in the film, so he does kind of pop back in. So you get two legends working on this. It wasn't a big success when it came out, and in fact, it actually got a 1971 remake from Margheriti called Web of the Spider with Klaus.
Klaus.
Yep, in the Poe role. He pops up in there. This movie, I like that, but I mean, it's no Castle of Blood.
Right. Now, which one? Like, hold on. So, Castle of Blood and Nightmare Castle. Which one is the Poe? It's supposed to be a Poe adaptation, similar to or something.
Was that Nightmare Castle? I think.
Is it Nightmare Castle?
I might be wrong. Yeah.
They're different movies. They're both good. Castle of Blood.
I always mix them up though.
I think it might be Nightmare Castle because then they got Edgar Allan Poe.
He's in it.
In the beginning. Yeah.
It's confusing because Castle of Blood it's a non-existent Poe story that it's supposedly based on a Poe story, but he's in the movie as a character. And this is another one. Every Italian Gothic that she made to me is a near masterpiece, if not a masterpiece. I love this shit. I live for just the Gothic horror of this era, and she is the face of it. I mean, Barbara Steele, number one, I think, and a lot of people may disagree, but she's the most striking actress of her time. I mean, you just look at her and it's like she just sucks you in. beautiful, but also just those eyes were just made
something haunting,
yeah,
beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, she stares right through you. And I met her about a decade ago, and I mean, she still has those eyes. She's still just a very captivating looking lady. And Castle of Blood basically follows a journalist who's taking a bet that he can spend the night in this haunted castle, and kind of doesn't believe in the supernatural, and ends up falling in love with a beautiful female ghost. And it is, I think, also essential horror cinema. It's so fucking good. And actually another name attached to this, Ruggiero Deodato, assistant director. He talked Barbara Steele into doing this movie, if memory serves. And it's close. I mean, people ask me my favorite Barbara Steele. I mean, it's Black Sunday, but then the rest of it is just so good that they're close. I do have Castle of Blood poster signed by her, and I just absolutely adore her. I wish we had even more, but anything she made in the 60s, watch it. She also did a lot of TV work. She was in 12 episodes of Dark Shadows. She did the 1972 Night Gallery episode Sins of the Fathers. That's quite good. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. She is just, to me, if somebody said, like, who's the all-timer, it would be Barbara Steele for me, for her body of work as a whole. And look, there's not a lot of crap there. There really isn't. Even when we get out later into the 60s, I mean, Crimson Cult, I really
love Crimson Cult.
I love Crimson Cult. Piranha, not one of my favorite movies, but I mean,
you don't have a lot to do.
She steals the show, though. Like, she really
she's on screen,
yeah, she's awesome. And quite frankly, yeah, she's the GOAT for me. And if you haven't dove into any of these movies, please do, especially for Halloween. When Halloween comes around, make it a point to just binge some of Barbara Steele's.
Or just in the dead of winter on a cold, nasty night,
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
What do you think, Lorne?
I think I've talked about Barbara Steele like more than any human being probably rationally should.
Okay.
Already. So I think people know that I do not understand to this day. I don't consider her a scream queen at all. She's villainous in most of her roles, actually.
I'll say queen of horror. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when we got out of the 40s, which was a slide from the 30s, right? The 30s are like boom time for horror. Horror helped get theaters built in the 30s to show those movies. You can't underestimate how big classic monster cinema, because that's what it was called. They was called monster movies. They weren't called horror films at that time. But they built the landscape of film. So the 40s, they did well, but the war was on. And things were not quite as good, I'd say. We get the weird like post-war era, and giant bugs kind of had their day, but kind of those films kind of felt more disposable and like matinee films for kids. And then the thing starts happening in Europe first with the genre. And it's kind of like the adulting of the horror genre as the Gothics start like really getting made, but not just being made. They were informing the culture of film in ways that I don't think people appreciate. So who's the face of that period? Well, it's Barbara Steele. She had a extra like blink and you miss it role in the 59 version of 39 Steps.
Yeah.
That got her noticed because of just the fact that she like it's impossible not to know. I said it's funny. Sometimes I'll see an extra in a television show or a film, and I'll be like, that person I want to film on,
Right.
That or even on a television commercial, this is like, well, that actor has way too much charisma for it's a television commercial.
She's uncredited for that, right?
Yeah, she's not credited in it. Because apparently she didn't go through the proper channels to be an extra. She just kind of showed up. But that literally got her Black Sunday.
Yeah.
Can you imagine coming out of the gate with Black Sunday
as
the way most people are going to be introduced to you? That first shot of her holding the two dogs at the edge of the cemetery, is, oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Right. They're most striking first impression you'll ever get from anyone. It's amazing. And during her career, she worked for Roger Corman and Riccardo Fredi and Antonio Margheriti and Lucio Fulci and Michael Reeves and David Cronenberg and Joe Dante. Can you fucking stop? I mean,
Corman.
How is she not like on everyone's tip of the tongue when they talk about the genre at all times? As much as every bit as much as Karloff or Price,
right,
or Lugosi,
or Lee, or
absolutely. And modernly, I mean, I'm sorry, I know that people love like your Robert Englunds of the world and whoever, but her body of work in the type of roles she took, oh my God. It's hard to compare a lot of the modern actors associated with the genre as even competitive. So yeah, I think she's everything. I think she's gorgeous. I think she was extremely talented. And I think she was exactly what the horror genre needed at a time when it was figuring out how to appeal to adults and be taken serious as cinema. Because by the 60s, you're starting to get the world's changing. You know, the countercultures are forcing kind of some of the old guard to step down in commercial arts, and European films were always thought of as kind of the bad boy cinema. Before Grindhouse, it was Grindhouse before Grindhouse, really, not for gore or sexuality necessarily, but just for being a little bit more freewheeling and
more sexual.
Yeah, a wider emotional palette to work from. And again, if there's one figure I would put at the dead center of that, it was Barbara Steele. I will tell you the one thing I think that is amazing that didn't happen is no Fellini Barbara Steele crossover. Doesn't that seem like it's something that had to happen but didn't?
She had several there was a project called Lady Diabolica that didn't get made with Christopher Lee that she was going to do. She's got a handful of unproduced, sadly, projects that didn't.
I understand it though. Like if she just wouldn't have it. She would just haul her ass. She didn't give a shit either.
Oh, yeah.
Like at some points, like she could have been way bigger than she is. I mean,
she was known to be difficult to work with. I think that's.
Well, I mean, like from what just to listen to her tell it, like she could have went to Hollywood, but she left during one of the productions or whatever.
She was happy enough to go to Italy and do all these films. And
like,
surprisingly,
you tell me what to fucking do, and she, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she had that attitude with her. So.
Surprisingly, she didn't do a giallo film, which like amazes me. I would love to have seen her.
Yeah,
in one of those early 70s big giallo films. But yeah, that's the only, I think we were.
Yeah, I think with something like an Angel for Satan, you have all the setup for it, but then it goes into the traditional Gothic direction. Yeah. I mean, that setup, pretty indistinguishable from House with Laughing Windows or anything else in that era. Though I wouldn't, obviously, you know how I feel about House. I wouldn't compare, an Angel for Satan to that. But, I mean, I think we're just lucky to have gotten someone who did Italian Gothic horror, American, early exploitation. Not just early exploitation either. She's in Caged Heat.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a fearless actress. And Curse of the Crimson Altar, I just want to say, like, she's Lavinia, the witch of H.P. Lovecraft's Dreams in the Witch House. She's there with
people
Carlson
forget Crimson
last roles. It's
okay. I need to see phenomenal. That. I haven't seen that.
She is a witch that has survived death and invades people's dreams.
Ah, okay.
But she's a very Lovecraftian witch which is appropriate enough. when you see she's blue, and in full sea goddess regalia.
I think I've seen photos of that. Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
It's not the best Karloff performance. He was very ill. He would only make 3 films after it, and all those films were made in Mexico, none of which are very good as films. But it's kind of wonderful that she got to work with him, because I do think the two have a lot in common as far as their impact in the genre. In other words, I don't think anyone else has had as much impact as the two of them. So,
right.
Yep.
They don't share the screen at the same time in the movie, though.
She's also very funny. If you ever meet her, she always tells this funny story about refusing to show her boobs in a movie, and them bringing in the body double, and it's like this silly girl just comes in so excited just to play my boobs. Like the way she put it was just really funny. And she's one of the living legends that we still have with us, and if you get a chance to meet her at a convention, she's worth
you got to do it.
Yeah,
no
she's worth the price, because queen of the 60s for sure. I still consider her the queen of horror.
Right. So she's British, isn't she? England. She comes from, born in England.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I was surprised, because when you see her in these old Gothic Italian films, she's always dubbed. Very rarely you'll hear her own voice. But I meant to ask, how many people have seen The Butterfly Room on the panel?
I have.
Yeah. Because it's just for her alone, it's worth watching. She's a complete psychopath.
Yeah,
she's very versatile. The way, do you know what I mean? She could play anyone.
You don't get a lot from her in recent-ish years like that, but she popped up in a randomly. I was really excited. I remember when I rented it back in the day, a Corman Don the Dragon Wilson movie called Capital Conspiracy that was shot in India. And it's always nice to see her, irregardless of the project. I wish somebody like Robert Eggers or Ari Aster or somebody would just
get her.
Even Eli Roth. I mean, just get her in.
Tim Burton, considering that Beetlejuice 2 was pretty much a homage to her.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I feel like she, at least everything I've heard, still in good health, and Fred Olen Ray, Roger Corman produced JG. She is amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about The Long Hair of Death, 1964, another Antonio Margheriti, and it's filmed in it's the Massimo Castle, which or you could say Castello Massimo, which is a 16th century castle. Black Sunday was filmed there. Parts of it were, anyway. The interiors and exteriors, he used every bit for Long Hair of Death, though. Like he the production value goes up big time just for the castle, I would say. But it takes place in the 15th century. There's a witch being accused of a woman being accused of witchcraft, and some man gets killed, I think, from this guy Kurt, and he's blaming it on Adele Karnstein. And what's the real deal is this Count Franz. He wants to get it on with her, and she ain't having none of it. So he accuses her of witchcraft. They burn her at the stake, right? In a lot of these witch films, it's the same. She's gonna curse them and shit. They're gonna die, right? But no, it's a great film, man. It's got some misogynist shit going on big time. There's some rapey kind of scenes going on in some of this shit, but it is of the time, I guess. She plays another dual role in this one.
Yeah, she does that a lot. That Carlo Rusticelli score for Long Hair of Death too is so good.
Yeah, man. But she's playing a dual role. Helen agrees to have sex with this count or whatever, and while her mother's being burned. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. They're not going to burn her without my permission. He's just trying to get it, you know. And she freaks out because she's getting burned and shit. And then he ends up killing her. And then this mystery woman shows up when the door busts open. It's like that shot, dude. When that fucking door busts open and she's standing in that doorway, this mystery woman, Mary or whatever, it's pure gothic. Man, excellence. I mean, I love it, man. But
George Artisan is like a real fucking asshole in that movie. He
is, man. He is a fucking prick, big time. And it's weird. He wants to be with the little girl that grew up. Like he wants to marry her and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely eager to see him get his comeuppance.
But Margariti, though, one thing about him, he was a lot like Bava as far as the special effects. They were both big into the special effects. And so when you look at this one scene in the film, I think it's awesome. Like there's a dead body and a corpse in a decayed corpse. And you start seeing the chest pulsating and shit. Like you're like, oh shit, like some supernatural shit. Then it fakes you out. It's rats and shit. I just love how it was done in this film. But
Bava was a jack of all trades. I mean, that's the other thing when you kind of consider greatest of all time. I'm like, he really was. Like, he did it all.
Yeah, Margariti fucking covered so many genres, man. But,
he did. He's not a fan of this movie, I remember reading over the years, which I don't understand. I think he made a wonderful film.
But the other one I checked out, I'd never seen before, is Revenge of the Blood Beast, or the She Beast.
She Beast.
It's a 1966 Michael Reeves film. It's his directorial debut. You know, people know him from Witchfinder General, what he'd be really, really well known for. But I'd say this is like a dark comedy in a way, right?
Yeah.
More or less. But she still has that aura about her. Like there's toward the end of the film, it's kind of ambiguous. She's like, you know, something to it, which she's got that demeanor on her face. It's like Lauren said, villainous. She always got that look. But the same kind of story, man. There's about this witch. It's kind of, except this is a real witch, hag looking monster thing. And these people are going to drown it and burn it or stab it and drown it or whatever. 200 years later, the car crashes in the water and Barbara Steele her character gets possessed by the witch. And then Von Helsing shows up to try to exorcise this shit. I don't know. It's all over the place. It's in color. It's kind of reminds me of Herbie or some shit. The way they speed shit up real quick. I don't know. But I don't know. I'd say check it out if you're a diehard, you know. So
Gore readings, and welcome back to Region Free. It's been a few years and we're on a different channel, but have no fear. We're still your favorite horror panel show on YouTube.
Yeah? I mean, what was all that about? Why did we move again?
How am I even here? Am I a continuity error at this point?
This shite is just confusing.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on all this meta garbage. Lauren always ragged on the Scream movies, and now we're doing this?
Well, the bald motherfucker's dead in this timeline, so he doesn't get a say now, does he?
I don't believe he's dead. It's just a stupid gimmick.
Yeah, I bet there's some lame twist at the end of the season, like in that Nicole Kidman movie with the kids.
Now what the fuck was that?
I guess you didn't watch the animated prequel. Do your fucking homework, Stone.
What do you mean animated? Like that Demon Slayer shit?
Soon, none of you will be animated at all. You'll be dead.
That seems rude.
I'll get right on that, Anatoly.
Kudos, Lauren, for picking Desperately Seeking Susan as the background poster.
It was not a mistake.
We need some Nicole Kidman in there at some point now that she's been referenced.
Nicole Kidman?
Oh, yeah.
She's a G.
Mm.
Well, So we're gonna be talking about some home invasion films, and and like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. Have y'all ever covered this topic on Region Free before?
No.
Okay.
Seems like we should have.
Right.
No, never.
I'm just wondering because I mean, to me, like that's some of the scariest shit to think of is somebody invading the home, taking your whole family out, like kind of
timely right now. #1 news story with Nancy Guthrie.
The real true fear that a lot of people have. So I don't know. So I guess we'll start with Stone, man.
Oh, well, it's very rare I get to talk about one of my favorite directors on here. I mean, William Wyler, he directed my favorite movie of all time, which is Best Years of Our Lives. He also won Oscars for Mrs. Miniver, 1942, and Ben-Hur, 1959. And of course, I showed my copy of Wuthering Heights. In 1955, he directed a movie for Paramount called The Desperate Hours. And this is one of the grandfather entries of the genre. It's Humphrey Bogart's penultimate performance. He only did one other movie after this, which was called The Harder They Fall. And it also stars Frederick March, who won Best Actor for Best Years of Our Lives. And basically, Humphrey Bogart and a couple of other escaped convicts from a prison infiltrate Frederick March's home and takes his family hostage. And from the word go, it is absolutely intense and complex. And Bogart, he was literally dying, but he's still a force to be reckoned with in the Desperate Hours, along with Frederick March. William Wyler had such a prolific career, and he bounced around from different genres. I mean, everything from costume dramas to comedies to social dramas and everything. But Desperate Hours was something a little bit outside his wheelhouse, I think. And this is an Arrow release, and it came out a few years ago. I think this is the only Blu-ray you can actually get in the States, but it is region A, and it does have original restored lossless mono and 6K scan of the original VistaVision negative from Paramount Pictures. And it also has a brand new audio commentary with film historian Daniel Kramer and several brand new essays from and also my favorite thing is a brand new audio interview with Catherine Wyler, the director's daughter, and also lobby cards, reversible sleeve with newly constructed artwork, an illustrated collector's booklet. I mean, this is a package you should pick up if you like The Desperate Hours. There is a remake that came out in 1990 with Anthony Hopkins.
I'll be talking about that one.
And Anthony Hopkins and Mickey Rourke. And to be perfectly honest, I've never seen it. Yeah. I can only assume that basically it's just more violent, but at the same time, I mean, convince me. Please convince me I should see the Michael Cimino remake. Seriously.
Well, I'll talk about it at the end, but so that's 1955, that one.
1955, yes.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I need to check it out. For sure.
Definitely watch the original too, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Darren, what you got, man?
Right. Okay. So I was surprised. There's one film that I've seen for the first time that I'm going to mention. I will quickly go through some of my favorites, but which I'm not.
Were you done, Stone?
My bad. Oh yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know if you had another one.
No.
Okay.
Some of my favorites, of course, Them, French film.
Hell yeah, man.
The film The Strangers wanted to be, I feel.
Yeah, that smokes The Strangers.
See No Evil, Mia Farrow, one of the best British
great movie
ever. My complete favorite is House on the Edge of the Park. Yadato, I've talked about a lot on our channel.
Yeah.
Jalo, Cold Eyes of Fear, which I got dirt into.
Yeah, that's a really good one. House on the Edge of the Park, though. You think that one classifies as that?
Oh God, 100%.
Especially when you watch it all the way through.
100%.
I'm talking about at the end of the film. Think about the end of the film.
Oh yeah. I still think it qualifies.
It's a setup, motherfucker.
But there's a scene in Almost Human. It's not a kind of home invasion film per se, but there's a scene in this that's superb. I'm just going through titles here, but You're Next as well. I liked a lot from a good few years ago. But the ones I'm going to talk about, this took me by surprise. So there's a Japanese film called Door.
Oh yeah,
man, I was so surprised with this one. Directed by there's sequels on here as well. Directed by Bane Takahashi, known for like Japan's kind of pinku softcore films in the 70s. This film is called pretty much the first Japanese giallo film ever made. It's got many tropes to do with, that kind of style of genre with bright, vibrant colors. It tells the story of Yashiko Honda, played by the director's wife in real life, Kiko Takahashi. She's a housewife and a mother to a young son. Her husband's kind of always working away, not really giving her a lot of time, and she's kind of like holding the fort and carrying on with life, looking after the boy and all that. But one day, so she's like the run up to this, like she's getting cold calls on the phone, people knocking her door, wanting to sell her stuff. One day, this guy, she opens the door, she got the chain on, but this guy just puts his hand in the door and she traps it accidentally. And then after that, this guy just stalks her all the way through the film. It is superb, honestly. This was kind of a lost film for a long time. Only recently come out, Third Window Films. I can't wait to watch the sequel now, thinking about it. But no, this guy, man, he's just this reign of terror he puts on this poor woman. The last 20 minutes is absolutely fantastic as well, where it kind of comes to a head, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, like everyone check out Door. It's if you're into like the kind of stalker style, there's a bit of everything, slasher style, there's a bit of everything for everyone. Highly recommended. This has come up before on this show, actually, I think. Maybe when we covered Louisiana, I'm not sure if Sam, but it's a film called Christie.
I love fucking Christie.
Yeah, man. Oh, this came out 2014.
And
I saw it.
Ignored, except for people like us.
Right. So I had it on my hard drive in a file for the longest time, 12 years. And I'd seen it when it first came out. Going back to it, man, So this is directed by Ollie Blackburn, known for the controversial 2008 for a Donkey Punch. The point of making this film. Yeah. So the writer, Anthony Jawiski, later penned The Shadows and Underwater. This was originally titled Ransom and then Satanic when it played in festivals. Shot in Louisiana, so I think Dirk might be interested in checking this out. New Orleans. So you've got Justine, played by the excellent Haley Bennett. She's attending this private university. And she's like unable to fly, because Thanksgiving's coming up. All her friends are going away. Her boyfriend's going back to family. She hasn't got the funds to do that. So she stays in this kind of university over the Thanksgiving period. Man, there's like 3 people there. You got the security guard, the caretaker, and someone manning the door. But what's great about this is she goes out Thanksgiving night to try and get some snacks and what have you. And she runs into this girl, this hooded girl, like really weird as well she is. And she calls her Christy. And she's like, my name's not Christy. But then when you go into like what happens with the whole storyline, which I won't give away because like it does pretty much start off like a slasher with all these masked kind of maniacs terrorizing her at one point.
Okay.
I won't say why, but it's a good kind of, we learn early on as well what's going on. I just think, like Lorne said, so underrated. Completely got bypassed. I don't know why. this one as well, I think it was out of print again as well. So I got the German release. I happened to get lucky. I think within the last year, it was like £6. But no, I think this is one of the best slashers of the 2000s.
Home invasion?
Yeah. Home invasion slasher, you could call it. Yeah, both. And it's all set, again, like Spiral Staircase, it's all set on one night during this massive like rainstorm, which most of the films, weirdly enough, I covered tonight have got a similar kind of rainstorm, and I don't know, it just worked out that way. There's great use of a swimming pool in a couple of shots. Some of the gore and some of the, it's superb. It's superb. They originally wanted to get Emma Watson to play Justine in the role, which I'm glad they didn't go that route. Because this girl's amazing. She's amazing. But yeah, that's Christy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dan, man, what you got, man?
All right, I got two for you guys. One I'll talk about a little more brief because it's come up before, but so probably the most brutal one that will be discussed tonight, and that is the 2013 home invasion movie from James Cullen Bressick, Hate Crime. Now, Hate Crime is about a Jewish family that just moves into this neighborhood, and they're having their son's birthday party when their home is suddenly invaded by a bunch of crystal meth neo-Nazi maniacs. And this is a movie that hits the ground running. I think you're no more than 2 minutes into it, and it is tense as hell. Now, I will
updated version of Fight for Your Life.
It is even harder to watch than that. It is
right. That's what I mean. Like an updated version.
Yeah, this is one that I mean, it's not for everybody, but you can never accuse this movie of not having balls, because every awful thing you could imagine happens to this family. It's not a gore movie per se. A lot of it is just psychological, but man, this is the type of movie that made me feel uncomfortable, and I've seen some of the horrific shit you can imagine. It will get your blood pumping. It really will. It's not afraid of breaking every taboo. Nobody is safe in this movie. Like I said, they're recording this birthday party, and of course they get a hold of the camera and make their own awful movies. And if you're a fan of extreme horror cinema, I do recommend it. It is we did a bunch of us, I can't remember who else was on it, but a bunch of us did a commentary on this on our buddy Christian's channel that does not exist. The episode does not exist anymore.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, it was like I think like after a few days, it was like, yeah, delete this.
Is he getting hate comments?
I think quite a few probably. But this movie is intense. It really is. Again, I will warn everybody, there's trigger warnings for everything, so this one's not going to make you feel very good.
Oh, warm and fuzzy, huh?
No, it will not. But I will throw out one that I think is a little bit more accessible for you guys, and it's from the director, and I always say the last name wrong, but Pascal Lagier, who was the director of the original Martyrs, and this is a movie of his that doesn't get talked about a lot, and that is Incident in a Ghost Land.
Oh, I wondered about that as well. Yeah,
I wondered about that when I've seen that cover, and it always put me off. That cover put me off for some reason. I was like, I was nervous about renting it. I remember back in the day.
Yeah,
what year is that?
This one was 2018. So.
Oh shit! Well, maybe not. It wouldn't.
I was so close to picking that one as well. It's superb.
It is very good. Now, Martyrs is a rough watch. It's a great movie. It is a fucking rough watch. Now, this is not quite to that level, but his intensity is still on display. It basically takes place in remote countryside, and this mom and her two daughters, including Beth, who is a Lovecraft obsessed aspiring writer, and they just inherited their aunt's new home, and they just get in, and the home is invaded by this pair of psychopaths. And I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to spoil this. There's a lot of twists and turns to it, but you should watch it, Dirk. I think you will like it quite a bit. It's not exactly what you think. I remember this came out, and it does kind of, like, just from the cover look like, oh, okay.
It looks kind of generic on that cover.
Generic, maybe kind of ghost thing. Like, it's very easy to overlook it.
Like, I've seen like a million covers that look like that. Maybe, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. I know I'm being vague because there's so much that I don't want to spoil. If you are a fan of Lovecraft, not that it's a Lovecraftian movie, but if you're a fan of Lovecraft, there's some stuff in here that'll make you smile. And it is super intense. You will not, hopefully, avoid looking at certain reviews that do unfortunately give this one away if you haven't had it spoiled for you already.
I'll go in blind.
Go in blind because it's not exactly what you think it is. But great, commentary on trauma and what our mind does to cope with trauma. It's, like I said, it's not like Martyrs level of depraved, but it's more accessible. But that you can tell he's not an American director because he does go there with certain scenes and really makes it uncomfortable. Not hate crime. This is not something that has the same kind of trigger warnings for people out there. But I love this movie. I think it's a shame that he hasn't done more recently. Where's his A24 movie? Where's his Neon movie? It feels like he's due something new, but I do highly recommend it. And Darren, I'm glad you saw it, so you can second that because
I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's another one that was it 2018. So it's one of the better films of the 2000s. But I echo what Dirk's saying. It does look like the cover just looks generic. I think it was called just Ghostland at one point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but highly recommend that one.
And I think he's just credited as the Fat Man, but absolutely terrifying.
It goes to some places as well. Yeah.
It really does. I love it so much. So check it out. When we get into the 2000s, unfortunately, and I had the exact same thought as you, Dirk. I mean, it just, okay, generic. I bought this at Walmart.
I mean, look at that shit.
I mean, now once I saw who directed it, of course, I'm like, oh, okay.
No, it's the same. Yeah, once I saw it directly.
I guess you can't judge a book by its cover, right? But.
Yeah, it's one of those like diamond in the rough finds that. Right. And it's very, very scary, very haunting, and
okay, I'll check it out. Sure,
check it out.
I like this genre a lot, man. Lorne, what you got, man?
Well, it's funny. My very first thought on this subject was Stone is going to steal my thunder about the Desperate Hours, which 100% turned out to be true. But anticipating that, 1967, right, is a year where we have two very different home invasion films from two very different parts of the world. We have Wait Until Dark, which undeniably has to be seen as kind of the watershed moment for what the four walls of this subgenre really should look like. Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence that there tends to be a lot of like hearing or visually impaired people in the middle of these films as well. That's a common theme. Or in some cases, even like really crappy versions, they'll have like ankle bracelets where they can't leave the house or something.
Right.
But there's always self-imposed limitations. And that's kind of critical for the home invasion, because you have to ask yourself at one point, are these always going to be like, okay, so they tie him up and then what? Movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Wait Until Dark is a brilliant film that really makes you feel like it could happen. And while it's stylized, I mean, it's just a wonderfully tense experience that's also really snarky, and I really like that. It's wonderful that like the first common example of this genre came with some attitude. And to the point where, there's clips of it in Terror in the Isles, and a lot of people always look and go, well, that's weird. That's like, because there's not much from the 60s besides Psycho and The Birds in Terror in the Isles, and it deservedly should be. Some people like to know the word thriller, it like it's a derogatory thing, but thriller is a subset of horror, people.
Yeah.
Horror is the big 10, not thriller.
I don't know why the 60s are just like kind of the forgotten decade when it comes to horror. Everybody's just
over horror.
Yeah.
It is. Now in Japan, there's a film in 1967 that comes out based strongly on the Richard Speck murders, called Violated Angels. And Violated Angels is basically about a boarding house for nurses that gets invaded one night by a man with very bad intentions. It is absolutely a home invasion film. It is absolutely not okay and will shock you by the perversity on screen. I promise that is true. Between these two films in 1967, there's not a lot in common stylistically, except the concept of your house being invaded. And I want to come back to that in just a second, because I want to actually jump forward a little bit. I want to finish the chronology, and then I want to talk a little bit, and I won't make it long, about why this subgenre exists and why it works.
Right.
Because that's my whole thing, right? But in 1990, actually, there's a novel that I believe changes everything for this subgenre on film. And that's Richard Lehman's Endless Night.
Oh, yeah.
Which is absolutely the template for what would happen with the 2000s explosion of, home invasion thrillers, whether you're talking The Strangers or even The Collector or any of those films. That
Collector's Inside, right?
Right. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I had it on in paperback. I think I gave away my copy at some point, but I tend to pass books along to people if I think they'll like them. But like Lehman really kind of figured out what this was all about. And when the explosion happened, certain themes kept reoccurring and could be traced back to him. I think fairly religiously. So in a typical horror setting, I'm going to use the original. I always use the original Halloween as my example for this because everyone's aware of it. The canvas in Halloween starts on, for all intents and purposes, right, with a wide shot outside a house on a crane, looking down at two parents with their child holding a knife between them. It's a big wide shot of a street. And then moments later, we're walking down the streets with three teenage girls, right? But we'll get these long shots where we're seeing the whole neighborhood. And at a certain point, that film starts constricting its canvas. And now we're inside a living room with Laurie Strode and her charge, right? And then it keeps bringing the scope down and down and down and down until we're finally in a closet with her, the most confined area possible. And that's how you build claustrophobia. You start on a wide canvas and you continually narrow it. Well, the home invasion kind of removes the progress and just deals with the end result. Because inevitably you'll get some scenes in the beginning which show the world at large, and then we get locked in that house with the invaders. Whether you're talking about Ills, whether you're talking about The Strangers, you're talking about very limited sets because we're just taking what is normally the final third of the film, the third act, and stretching it into the entire narrative. The reason that works and the reason that doesn't get old, if you had made a 4-hour film, it'd probably
yeah.
But as long as you're reasonable as a filmmaker,
right,
is because when we watch a film, we identify with the underlying terror, right? The secondary narrative. So socially, we think of our country as our home, right?
Mm-hmm. Safe place.
Right, exactly. So an attack like 9/11, for instance, is an attack on us on a very personal level. And if you were here, you felt that because a certain boundary had been punctured.
Right.
You could do that with a town, which is what happens absolutely in Halloween, is that something from outside comes into your town, invades your town. It's that violation, right? At its core, the home invasion takes the home, the sanctuary. The home represents the family.
Mm-hmm.
It also represents the body. So, in essence, the home invasion and maybe the title of the subgenre gives you this hint. It's basically the rape fear.
Right.
It's about violation rather
than
the straight slashers like killing spree. Now, mind you, they're still going to kill people, right? Because you need examples of what could happen to you. But there's an underlying sexual premise as well as a societal decay premise that's built into the idea, which is why maybe the best example of this genre, though far from the best film of the genre, is the original Purge. Because it manages all of these themes in its runtime pretty freaking well. Now, I'm not going to claim it's a great film. I think it's a fun film. It's a good film. But it kind of encapsulates everything this subgenre asks of it really well. And I think Richard Lehman, if he was alive to see it, would have actually gotten the joke. He would have gotten where their inspiration lay. That's what I got.
Okay.
So, Lorne, I'm guessing you love this film then. Blind Terror, See No Evil.
So we did. We did a dual on Wait Until Dark and See No Evil.
Yeah. That's when you mentioned Wait Until Dark.
I love both films. So again, we talked earlier about like sometimes films exist in their time, right? And they can showcase the difference in times when you compare. So two films with very similar ideas in not even that far removed from each other, but definitely showing the differences in approach. There's also a film called I have a mini poster over there and I'm not going to come up with it. There's an Indian film that does this, that is the same premise of a mute girl who's inside a house that gets invaded by someone who's has very specific intentions. We'll say.
Is it kind of like Hush?
It is kind of like Hush, but they're all these back to these central themes. Again, Wait Until Dark pretty much set the boundary.
Right.
They're all variations.
Would you put Game Over in this category?
Yeah,
I would put Game Over in the category of an earlier topic we had today, but I didn't want to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would consider
it is a video game adaptation. It's a home invasion.
Yeah.
If it starred Barbara Steele, maybe they could cover all this if it had been made a few years earlier.
Right. Yeah. Well, the ones I got, of course, I mentioned it earlier. I'll go ahead and start with it. The 1990 Desperate Hours with Mickey Rourke, Anthony Hopkins. You got Kelly Lynch. You know that is from like Roadhouse or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, in my memory bank, I was like, okay, that's a good movie. So I go back and watch this movie, and it's directed by Michael Cimino or whatever. Dino De Laurentiis is producer on this, and man, the overacting is god awful. It is like, this is one of the ones like you can see Razzie nominations, like even from Anthony Hopkins. There's some overacting going on, and I'm just like, the direction had to be, because these are good actors, you know what I mean? And he's got the right pieces, but it's like his direction fails. I mean, it's worth watching, just is laughable, like. But then there's some scenes so it feels like it's really cut, and it was. So it was like a 2.5 hour movie, and I think they cut 40 something minutes of it, I believe. But man, I think it's the same exact premise as the 55 version, which I need to check out. There's a defense attorney for Mickey Rourke's character, Bosworth, and she's in love with him, so she kind of helps him escape at a court hearing, and it's kind of like, all right, this is, you got to, I mean, I can understand suspend disbelief, but there's things that happen in this film. It's like, there's no fucking way that shit would happen. Like, but nah, it's kind of silly though. Not for whatever in my mind, I was like, that was a good movie. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was. A lot of years have passed. So,
hey Dirk, but, you mentioned that this one got Razzie nominations. It was Mickey Rourke was nominated for Worst Actor, and I love what Leonard Maltin said about the film. Ludicrous, with no suspense and an at times laughable music score, and Shawnee Smith is a daughter victim you'll beg to see cold cocked.
Yeah, she's such a bitch. But this director,
Michael Cimino,
he did great films, man. He did The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
He did
Heaven's Gate,
Thunderbolt and Lightfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And
then Heaven's Gate ruined everything.
I haven't seen Year of the Dragon with Mickey Rourke, but
I like Year of the Dragon.
Okay. But yeah, I'd like to check some of that out. But the one that I really want to talk about was the whole reason I even wanted to do this topic is from 1967 as well. In Cold Blood. Ooh. And this is a masterpiece of a film. And I saw this film when I was probably 6 years old. I rented the shit on VHS. And back then, it was boring to me. It was boring to me. I was like, I was just trying to rent whatever I could. But this time around, watching it, man, it's a true story of this family gets invaded on 1959 Kansas. The Clutter family. It's a farmer. There's two convicts, ex-cons. They plan to. They think that there's a safe there, and it's shot docu-style. Like, I love the way the camera movement is, like in the substation with Robert Blake at the beginning of the film. But man, it's I like the way it's done because they don't show you what happens at the beginning, but then later on in flashbacks they start showing you. They just tie these people up and murder them, man, in cold blood, man. And it's like perfect title of the film. Bennett's also touching on the justice system, the death penalty and all that shit, like morality. There's a lot of things being discussed in this film, and it's a high tier watermark for this genre, I would say.
It is.
And then all the weird stuff with Robert Blake as well. Like he got acquitted for the murder of his second wife. But that was a strange case if you look into that shit. And then if you see him in like Lost Highway from '97, that's the mystery man. He played Beretta back in the day. If y'all remember Beretta, but
yeah.
But nah, man. I mean, it's not just Robert Blake. It's also is it Scott Wilson?
Yep.
Herschel on Walking Dead for younger people.
And he's the doctor in Exorcist 3, right? The one smoking the cigarettes all the time.
Yeah. Great actor.
Yeah, man. Them two, damn. Nah, I can't praise the film enough, man. It got all kind of awards. Structured. I mean, the way it's a perfect film, in my opinion. And the stark black and white. I ain't gonna keep going on about it, but man, this is one you need to check out if you like this kind of film. So
it's funny because I know or knew Scott Wilson's agent at the time, and I brought that movie up because I'm always like, why, there's 1,000 people he's seen today that brings up Walking Dead, and it's like, considering how great this movie is, like, you're one of like 2 people that brought it up the entire convention. He's great as Herschel on Walking Dead, but yeah, don't sleep on that movie.
No, man, because his character's really the grimy bastard of the two. But I mean, it's a true story too. So there's that part of it. Like, it's from Truman Capote's novel. So a year before.
I don't know where I've been, but I've never heard of that film.
Really?
Ever?
Oh.
Yeah. Because when you
man.
mentioned you were going to do it, I'm like, I've never heard anyone talk about it. I don't know nothing about it, obviously.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah. So now I'm intrigued, man.
You guys have some good watch lists now.
Scott Wilson made his debut the same year in an equally incredible film, In the Heat of the Night, which won Best Picture. Yeah, that was his very first film, and then he was in Cold Blood later in the year. Yeah, that's making a debut right there.
I forgot to mention the director, Richard Brooks. I got to mention.
Oh,
him.
yes.
So he won Best Foreign Director in Italy for this film. So there's that. He won what is it? What is it called? The Donatello Award?
Donatello Award, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Oscars for Italy. But yeah, man, this has been great, man. This has been a great show. So.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All of you watching are going to die too. All of you watching are going to die too.
But yeah, man, I guess we'll be back next month, right?
Yes, and I do believe we're doing the Basket Case trilogy, so we've got one topic lined up for you guys next month. That should be fun.
What do you got coming up, Dan, on your channel, man?
So we got a lot going on right now. We have a show coming up at the Gardena Cinema in LA, outside of LA. Welcome to the Grindhouse, where we're going to have a pro wrestling show with our trademark now Flesh Wound Grindhouse movie stipulations, followed by a screening of Die Delta Pi. This is going to be big. If you're a wrestling fan, particularly a deathmatch fan, Dmitry Alexandrov is going to be joining us. He'll be on the show on the 24th, I believe, to talk about his involvement. And we've got a lot going on right now outside of just the podcast. There's some stuff I can't talk about yet, but some movie related things, some just a lot. So 2026 is going to be a big year for Flesh Wound Features. So subscribe on YouTube, and the Gardena Cinema relationship, I think, is going to be.
And I just saw Cliff Booth's comment. Robert Blake was my best friend. I forgot to mention that Quentin Tarantino based Once Upon a Time in Hollywood off like the Cliff Booth characters based off Robert Blake.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, my bad. What you got coming up, Lorne?
I don't know. I'm working on some things, but I don't know.
Okay. Stone?
Muted.
Yep.
I was actually thinking of doing later in the month an audio commentary for my third favorite movie of all time, because the star sadly just passed away. Hal Ashby's Harold and Maude.
Okay.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bud Cort.
Bud Cort, yeah. Such a loss. Yeah.
Well, Darren, what we got going on the channel?
Right, so Sunday we're going to be doing 3 Giallo films. Nothing Underneath, Too Beautiful to Die.
Formula for a Murder.
Formula for a Murder, Alberto Di Martino film. The week after that, we're doing a Spanish special, and we got a special guest coming on, Jesssessica, who's going to do some kind of art for the show as well.
Jesssessica amazing from your chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's coming on literally, so that should be good.
She's an artist, so Be good.
And we spoke to her last week on after the show, and she seems really articulate and well spoken and all that. So
check out her Instagram. Her artwork is pretty
we'll be
damn
showing
good.
that off as well. Yeah, that night. So yeah,
right. But yeah, man. So it's been great, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Friday the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th.
Last but not least, huge shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Great.
Happy
chat.
Valentine's Day.
Oh yes.
Oh, you know,
President's
coming at
weekend.
once.
All the holidays.
Oh yeah.
Good night, guys.
Later, y'all.
Later.